everyone.
Yes, welcome back to ROC Movie Reviews. We are back talking about another movie. Always. Last two reviews, we were talking about Annabelle 1 and Annabelle Creation, technically the second film. And today we're talking about the most recent film of the trilogy. I know we've got mixed thoughts about it. This came out, I believe...
Last year.
Last summer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it came out last June. And at this point, the Conjuring universe had been... has definitely been a thing now, and we've had multiple movies to like see the quality dip and then rise again and then dip. And this film that we're talking about today, third Annabelle film,
And final Annabelle film.
maybe.
Hopefully.
Annabelle Comes Home.
What did you do? I let her out. Who? Annabelle. I'm sorry. What else did you touch? Everything.
Can I play with Annabelle?
I think you have the wrong house. There's no Annabelle here.
Yes, she is.
I sometimes see things. Like how my mom sees things.
The doll, it's a beacon for other spirits.
I like your doll.
Yeah, so if you can't tell from Jake's reaction to that, he hasn't really enjoyed any of these Annabelle movies.
Nah.
I would say you've enjoyed some, but I don't think they were on the same level that I enjoyed them. Would you say that's accurate?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, this came out last summer, and this was different because it was the writer of the first two Annabelle films, Gary Dauberman, who was directing. Now, I had originally thought the screenplay for the first Annabelle was really bad.
Yeah.
I didn't think the second one was all that better. I thought it was fine.
The second one was okay.
It was okay. It was an improvement, but it still wasn't, like, genuinely impressive. So this film, I'll jump right into the plot and the story. This brings Ed and Lorraine Warren back, and this is kind of a sidequel to the Conjuring movies and the Annabelle movies. It's kind of hard to pinpoint exactly where it is. Do you remember where it falls?
A sidequel?
Not a sidequel. You know what?
I've never heard that word before.
People use it. People have started using it more. Do you remember where this movie takes place in between like the Conjuring movies and the Annabelle movies?
I think it takes place after all the Annabelle movies.
Yep.
But I think it takes place maybe before the first Conjuring. I don't know.
I think it takes place before the second Conjuring and after the first.
Yeah.
Because they had the doll.
Yeah.
So it's hard. It's hard to pinpoint exactly where this takes place. But so they're back. This story takes place, or at least in the beginning, takes place. They have the doll. They're coming back to their home. We saw their home in brief scenes in the first two Conjuring movies.
Yeah.
But this is the movie that actually, the main setting of this movie is Ed and Lorraine Warren's house.
Yeah.
Which I thought was like, oh, that is so cool. That, like, there's so much potential for that, you
Definitely.
know? Because the two settings for the first Annabelle and the second were very, just kind of, generic. They were just generic. You got a farmhouse out in the middle of nowhere. Oh, geez, I haven't seen that before. And then the first Annabelle was just an apartment building that looked like modern day, which is even less inspiring. It was like, okay. Not interesting in the slightest. This takes place in the actual home of demonologists who lived, by the way, they're real people, Ed and Lorraine Warren. They have a daughter now, and we've seen glimpses of this room. I believe, is it their basement?
I don't know if it's their basement or... I think it is their basement.
I think it is their basement. They have this room, and I'm trying to remember what the name of the room is called. Do you remember?
I think it's like the room of haunted things.
the room of haunted objects, and there's like it's an entire just room full of things on shelves, up on walls, stuff like that, and I was like, oh, this is really cool because this kind of it gave me Ninth Museum vibes. I was like, oh, that's so cool because Ninth Museum, you know, you're in a museum and all these things are coming to life. In this film, I was like, all these haunted objects have some sort of story to them, and they're in this room because they're dangerous in some way or another.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, oh my god, that's so cool. So the concept of a Conjuring-esque Night Museum adventure, I was like, that is really cool. I'm in. Yes. I saw this movie in the theaters. It's the only Annabelle movie I saw in theaters. I can say I'm really glad I did see it. I don't think my aunt was as impressed with it as I was. But that's fine. Not everybody enjoyed it. This story, well, it doesn't fully capitalize on the potential of what I just talked about.
Yeah.
I do think it does enough where it sets up enough things and it also maintains a contained story in this house. I really enjoyed this. And I would be totally down for another for another Annabelle movie if it followed this same concept and it had familiar characters. If we go back to another generic, like these are all new characters and this is how it ties in, I'm not sure I'd be on board. I'd be like, no, I'm good because we've already gotten La Llorona and the Nun and those.
Maybe add another thing that was in their basement for a movie.
Oh yeah,
that dog. Oh my god.
Oh my god, yeah.
That was probably the scariest part of the movie for me.
Probably. I think that was the werewolf thread that they were thinking about doing for the third Conjuring. They ended up dropping it, but I think that was what they were trying to set up. That, like, ancient armor. The ancient armor. That was cool. I would love to see a movie about that. In particular, oh my god,
the coin-eyed guy.
Yeah, what was his name?
I don't know.
The ferryman. The ferryman, because he's supposed to represent the person who ferries you to along the river Styx to hell. In Greek mythology. Oh my god, I would love to see a movie about the ferryman. I know there's still a Crooked Man spin-off in the works that was set up in Conjuring 2.
Really?
Dude.
Yeah, I would love that.
Be down for that. I was down for a Nun movie, and then I saw it, and I was like, But the Crooked Man?
Yeah.
I mean, arguably the scariest part of the second Conjuring.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, he was terrifying. I would love that so much.
Except maybe improve the CGI on him.
Yeah, that was a little,
It looked pretty early 90s.
It did, but I gotta say, the setup of the Crooked Man and the fact that he, like, you know, it's this I don't even know, this spinning weird musical thing or whatever, and then just arrives. It's like, oh my god. That his first appearance in The Conjuring 2, I had chills all over my, like a shivers down my spine. It was so scary. Anyway, so we're getting off topic again. We're talking
about Annabelle 3.
Sorry, we're talking about Annabelle 3. Yes. Anyways, where was I? Do you remember what we were talking about?
We were gonna talk about the basement and stuff, and
the items, all the different items in the movie that the third movie sets up. Yeah. I think any of those would be really cool. And I do
the items that one girl touches.
Oh yeah, there's still one character in this movie that makes a lot of dumb decisions. Now, I will say, she is more layered than I expected, and I understand why she's doing it, so she has a little bit of a motivation behind that. I was glad they put that in there, because at first I thought she was just another stupid character.
Yeah.
So, at least there was that, but at the same time, I'm still like, oh, I get this, but you really shouldn't be doing this.
Yeah. I mean, it's one thing if you had just touched, like, one or two things, but everything?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's kind of a facepalm moment. It's like, oh, why are you doing that? So, I think we've kind of covered the main story of this movie. She touches all these objects in this room. Also, she's not supposed to be in the house because she's a next-door neighbor, I think, right?
Yes.
Something like that. And her touching all these things, then she accidentally, what happens? She gets close enough to the Annabelle doll that it's able to escape.
Yeah, she
And-
basically like Patrick Stars the place like touch, don't touch.
Love the SpongeBob reference. Touch. That's actually a good way to that represents exactly what her character does.
Oh yeah.
Touch everything.
Oh, it's Jeffrey Jellyfish. Wait, Jeffrey, I have to touch you. I can't believe they added that in that episode.
I know.
It sounds so bad.
It does. A lot of those older SpongeBob episodes have so many references that you're like, that went right over my head when I was younger.
Yeah.
That was so funny. Anyway, SpongeBob references aside, we're gonna get into the casting here. So you've got Patrick Wilson as Ed Warren again. Not in the movie a whole lot, but he's in the beginning and the end. He's great.
We also got Vera Farmiga.
Vera Farmiga as Lorraine Warren, also great. They always do a good job as these characters.
Yeah.
And while we were waiting for the third Conjuring to come, we're still waiting. I was really glad to see them, even if it was just for a couple scenes.
Oh yeah.
I'm totally, because they were sorely missing for the first two Annabelles.
Definitely.
And the Nun. And La Llorona. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. Anyway, so they were great. Another character that was introduced in this movie, their daughter, who we met at a older age in the first two Conjurings.
Yeah.
She's younger now, and she's played by McKenna Grace. This girl is awesome. She falls under the same category as Lulu Wilson. Two child actresses that have been in multiple horror films at this point. They're just really good.
Definitely.
McKenna Grace is also in The Haunting of Hill House with Lulu Wilson, and she plays the sister of Lulu Wilson.
Yep.
They're both great. They are both great actresses. I think she did a really good job as their daughter in this movie.
Yeah.
Even if, like I said, the script wasn't the greatest, she still did the best with what she had.
Yeah.
So she was really good. Yeah, Judy Warren, really, really good. Katie Sarif plays Daniela Rios. She's the one that touches everything.
Touch.
Yeah. Her acting was good. I had no problem with that. Her character decisions were a little
Yeah.
but again, like I said, she's got a motivation for it when you see it in the movie. It kind of softens the blow of like you think she's a complete and utter idiot.
Yeah.
But she's actually not. She has a reason for it. Does she go about doing it the best way? No. She does not. Madison Eisman, who we have previously seen, she was in the second Goosebumps movie with Jack Black. She played Bethany in Jumanji 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Really good actress as well. She plays Mary Ellen, who is the babysitter of Judy in this movie.
Yeah.
Unlike Daniela's character, I think her character was better.
Yeah.
And she actually has to deal with a lot of the stuff that's going on in the house because Daniela is kind of in and out of the movie, but this is about Judy and Mary.
Yeah.
So, I think she did a really good job with that, and it was nice to see her in a straight-up horror film, because Goosebumps and Jumanji are more kids' movies.
Yeah.
This was a rated R horror movie, and...
Yeah, not for kids.
No, not for kids. Although, I will say, I think Creation is probably the most rated R of the trilogy. This is probably the second most rated R, but... You know, there's a couple scenes in this movie that are definitely not for kids, but otherwise, it's not awful. It's not like Conjuring.
It's not like there's like blood or gore, or 2 cuss words a sentence.
Right? Yes, that's true. Yeah, and The Conjuring doesn't even have that, but The Conjuring has enough scares in it that it's rated R because of the subject material.
Yeah.
So, anyways, one more person worth mentioning. We already talked about Samara Lee, who plays the daughter of the couple in Creation.
Yeah.
She has a small cameo in this as that same character. Still creepy, still effective. And Michael Cimino as Bob Palmery or whatever. He's got a crush on Mary Ellen, and he keeps coming back to the house. I actually like the comedic relief that he brought in this movie.
Yeah.
Did you?
Oh yeah.
He has to get, he gets chased by that dog at one point, doesn't he? Yeah, and it's both scary but also kind of funny because you see him trying to hide in, like, the hen house in the back, and it's just, like,
the dog's trying to, like, plow its way in.
Yeah, he was a bright spot in this movie, among all the darkness. I thought I actually think he was better comedic relief than the groundskeeper in The Nun.
Yeah.
I thought he was much more likable. And he provided good moments of levity during a pretty dark and sinister movie.
Yeah.
I would say. So that's the casting. It's like I said, it's not that many people, but it's enough to get the job done.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything to add, but I was gonna jump right into cinematography. Do you?
Yeah, I will say this. I feel like this movie was starting out strong with the opening scene, but
Yes.
then when you get to the time where she's like touching everything and you just go like, it honestly just became like too much where I was just bored of all the jump scares.
You couldn't get attached to the characters, and you thought that the beginning was strong, but that once they got back to the house, you thought it lost its.
Well, I mean, it was
Flair.
like, it's like they had too many jump scares happening at once.
Yeah. Well, this movie is kind of all over the place with what it does, but I like the creature designs of the different spirits and the different monsters in this movie, especially the ferryman.
Yeah.
And then the bride, the one with the bloody knife and the bloody dress, that was creepy. So I think the actual designs of the creatures in this movie were pretty friggin' scary. Is there too many? Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But it did make for a very entertaining movie. You said you were bored. I was never bored during this movie. So it just goes to show that it's different for everybody.
Yeah.
So anyway, cinematography in this movie, it's Michael Burgess. He has done the first Divergent, Logan,
Oh, yeah.
The Avengers, the original,
Yeah.
Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Curse of La Llorona,
Yeah.
which actually is a good-looking movie. It just, unfortunately, you told me it doesn't.
It wasn't.
It's not?
Yeah, it wasn't a good movie.
But was it a good-looking movie? Was the cinematography nice?
Yeah.
There you go. There's one positive for La Llorona. One plus. One point for La Llorona. So Michael Burgess, yeah, he's a good cinematographer. I think this movie is the best looking of all three Annabelle movies.
Yeah.
It's the most visually distinct. I love the artifact room. It is so cool.
Yeah.
And that TV that like alters reality. Do you remember when Daniela's character, like, she's looking at it and then she sees blood start to pour down her head or something?
Oh, really?
You don't remember that scene? Yeah, there's a haunted like TV or radio screen kind of thing object in that room, and it like reverses time when you look at it.
Oh,
or
yeah.
something.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was cool. I would love to see a movie about that as well. If there was enough story. I mean, granted, if it's just an object and then they try to build a story around it, then I don't know about that. But still. And the music was it was Joseph Bashara again, who did the first Annabelle. I did not see that coming.
Yeah.
Benjamin Wallfish's score for Annabelle Creation was good. Bashara's score for Annabelle was fine, but it was just like.
Yeah.
I will say his score in this, I think this is the best Annabelle score.
Okay.
I really will, because I think it works well with what's happening in the movie. There's moments where it's a little bit calm, and there's moments where the score completely spikes and it gets really, really loud and very bombastic.
Yeah.
I think Joseph Bashara definitely improved from his first Annabelle score.
Cool.
Speaking of scores, we're gonna do that with this movie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Annabelle Comes Home. Mine's gonna be higher than yours. I know already. Yeah. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It's above average for me. It's not on the level of the Conjuring movies, but I would say it's certainly better than The Nun. I've heard it's better than La Llorona, and it's definitely better than the first two Annabelles. Even though the second Annabelle was not bad, it really wasn't. I still think this was an improvement over both. Yeah. What say you?
Well, I will say this. I think I would agree this is better than the first, but lower than the second.
Lower than the second?
Yeah. I'd give this a 4.
That's very interesting. Okay, alright.
Yep.
4 from you, 7 from me. I recommend you see this movie. You didn't recommend Creation, so you don't recommend this?
I don't recommend any of the Annabelles.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. So draw your own conclusion. Watch them if you want. I would say skip the first one, but watch this one and watch the second one. Yeah. Not in that order. That's a review of Annabelle Comes Home. We'll be back very soon to talk about the best of the Conjuring universe. Yes, we're talking about the Conjuring 1 and 2.
Yes.
Can't wait to talk about those.
Get some relief.
Get some relief. Yeah. We'll be talking about good quality stuff, and we will see you in that next review.
See ya.